Welcome back to On a Friday, the podcast where one of us chooses an album each week and the other one talks about how much they don't like it, while the person who chose it talks about how much they like it most of the time. I'm Matt, and I'm here with my co-host Andrew.
I'm depressed.
That's a mood.
Anyway,
What a start.
yeah.
what a grand start. This week we're covering frickin' LCD Soundsystem's first album, question mark, Sound of Silver? Second album. I knew that. I wrote that down. Sound of Silver. So, how have you been? What have you been up to?
You know, I have been preparing my EP for release later this year. No pictures because I don't have any.
He's working on that sick album art.
Working on it, as in
It's gonna be
not
the
working on
greatest
that,
album
working
art
on
you've
other
ever
shit.
seen in your life.
To rival OK Computer and
People are gonna look at it and be like, "Wow."
This is art. It's gonna be. You know what? Yeah, that probably for the better. They're gonna go, wow.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Alexa, play Wow by Post Malone." Now I have something to put on the screen.
No,
The video version.
No, you should just leave it black.
On a Friday.
We gotta have a This Is Spinal Tap reference. So just leave it black.
Well, I went to Ohio this weekend. It was a wild time. I went to see some friends who I've mentioned many a time in this podcast, who probably listening to this podcast eventually, and they have an annual karaoke party. So I went to that, had a blast. Also, just had a blast seeing them, and I may have some more specific things to talk about when it comes to music recommendations later. But for now, that's what I've been up to.
Oh no,
I've been bored since I got back.
Said music recommendations, and I'm just like, oh no.
Oh no. What? Oh, don't tell me. It's another week where Andrew forgot to prepare a music recommendation.
That hasn't happened yet.
I'm so surprised.
Anyway, should we move on to the news?
There is no news.
You're right. All right, let's move into the album.
I'm kidding. There's news. What's the news?
Well, you see, I realize that every time we talk about the news, it gets outdated right after the release of this, episode.
Well,
so
yeah.
I've decided to move in a direction of not talking about the news, but talking about what future news could be.
That's stupid.
Anyway, Black Midi releases Cruising, originally off of the Japanese album of Cavalcade. All upcoming Japanese breakfast shows will require vaccination or a negative COVID shot.
Within 48 hours. Hell yeah, but
within 48 hours of the show, in addition to masks.
Better than nothing.
I mean, did I say shot? I meant test.
Yeah, I was gonna say hell yeah when you said it required a vaccination, but then you said or a negative test, and that's because that's the same shit that Lollapalooza did, but that still had such a massive crowd because that happened this week, and oh boy, COVID is give it 2 weeks.
I love it.
Give it 2 weeks.
Frank Ocean announced as headliner for Coachella 2023.
Oh, Coachella, go!
Yep, we'll be alive by then. New York City will require COVID vaccination proof to attend performances.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Now we just need more every other state to do that. And also every country. And also just everywhere. Get your damn vaccines, people.
Yeah. I have a reason to be pissed at literally a lot of people. I want to go outside. I'm tired of staying here. Anyway, what do you have to say for the news?
There's a new song by Poppy. It's called Flux, and she also announced her next album, which is also called Flux, and it's coming out September 24th. So that'll be interesting. Billie Eilish has released her second full studio album, Happier Than Ever.
But I'm not happy.
Neither is she.
Wow, what a coincidence.
Tune in next week and we might talk about it. There was an upload to the official One Direction YouTube account, despite them being on hiatus since 2016. It ended up being a mistake, a song by the artist Rebecca Ferguson, who was also a contestant on The X Factor like the former members of One Direction. And she's been very vocal about how awful the management and contracts are for artists who come out of that show. So it's very interesting that such a mistake like that happened.
Wow, what? That's very strange. Jesus.
Yeah. The 70s country singer Willie Nelson performed at a rally in Texas in opposition to recently proposed voting restrictions there. And finally, the pop singer Ariana Grande is in the video game Fortnite.
Fortnite!
She's in
Oh, there
Fortnite.
we go!
We're talking about Fortnite. We
Woo!
can put it in the tags. You definitely peaked your mic there. I don't know if any of that was audible. Jesus Christ. But yeah, now we can put Fortnite in the tags. Ariana Grande's in Fortnite in a promotional event called the Rift Tour. There will be in-game concerts and new items and skins and stuff. And that's such a weird combination of things. But that's it.
I'm not using my voice anymore.
Why are you whispering?
I'm not using my voice anymore.
This is gonna get filtered out when you fix up your audio.
No, it isn't.
Okay. You want to talk about LCD Soundsystem?
Fortnite! Alright, Fortnite was released in March 12th, 2007. The length of the album is 55:55,
Is it?
which means nothing.
That's interesting. I wonder.
Yeah, it's
I
50
wonder if that was like intentional or if that just happened.
It just happened. Trust me. Whenever I'm like, I mean, unless it was intentionally, supposedly like dragged on, but I doubt that, considering how all the songs are the way they are.
Well,
It is house music.
it is house music.
Sort of. It's
music you
well, it's
listen
not
to in your
progressive
house.
house. It's electronica.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that the length of the time is intentional. I know whenever I'm working on stuff, like I may accidentally hit like a number or something, and it's like, oh wow, that was by accident.
420.
That could be an accident too.
LCD Soundsystem is fronted by James Murphy, co-founder of DFA Records. And we already mentioned this is their second album. I listened to their 2010 third album, This Is Happening, back in December, and I actually liked a few songs on it. And so maybe Andrew has finally picked something I'll thoroughly enjoy again.
I doubt it.
If only I could do that for him. So, is this considered their best album? Or at least their most
depends on who
popular?
you ask.
Well, is it their
Is it
most
their
popular?
most popular?
Yeah.
I am inclined to say no, because
Interesting.
they are a big band. So saying that this was their most popular would be like discrediting the other
That's not true.
two other albums.
I don't
Well,
think
I mean,
that's
in the
true.
sense of like, think of it this way. The way I see all the other albums past this one is that they're kind of equal. Like people, well, except for the last one that just most recently came out. But I like that one a lot. So it's either between this one or This Is Happening, I'd say.
That's interesting. Well, I'll also say beforehand, before we start getting into individual tracks, that I didn't really pay much attention to like song meanings here, since I was a bit tired when I listened to it, and really this genre is more about the music than anything else. So if there's anything to be said about that, then I trust you will bring it up.
Well, I have bad news for you. Anyway, the first track, Get Innocuous.
Get Innocuous! I don't know if this was intended or not, but the long intro has that like Mario 64 staircase effect where it sounds like it keeps getting like higher in pitch even though it's not. I thought that was really cool.
I didn't think of that at all. I just accepted it.
The vocals remind me of like a 2000s David Bowie song, which is interesting since James Murphy and the DFA did a remix for his song Love Is Lost in 2013.
James Murphy was the producer off of Reflector.
What was that? Arcade Fire?
Yeah, Arcade Fire, which also featured David Bowie
Yeah.
in the lead song.
Yeah.
So there it is.
I think this is a great opening track. It sets you up for the electronic dancey nature of the rest of the album and manages to be simple but not uninteresting despite being 7 minutes long.
I don't know how to write a 7-minute song, but most of the songs on this album are around that time, and
They're pretty long for the most part.
but they don't feel as long.
Not all of them, no.
I felt like, for the most part, this album felt shorter than 55 minutes.
I can agree with that.
It was weird. It does not feel like a 55-minute album.
I also listened to it in 2 sittings, but yeah, I can agree.
I did too, because I fucking got tired and I was like, I already know this album.
Yeah.
Alright, second track, Time to Get Away.
Time to Get Away, the fourth and final single. And now for James Murphy's goofy falsetto vocals.
I'm dying to find the words to go along with how I feel about the song. It's time for me to say. It's time for me to say absolutely nothing. My words aren't here. I don't know what to say about the song.
I think it needs more cowbell.
You know what? You might be right.
I'm just
But you
kidding.
might
It
be
has the
wrong.
perfect amount of cowbell. I like this one too. It's really funky. I poked fun at his high-pitched vocal parts, but honestly the rest of his vocals in the song are really strong and work well with the genre. It doesn't feel like something that anyone with a good voice can sing, sort of like the Talking Heads, you know? I also really like the false ending towards the end before another 30 seconds of outro instrumental.
I feel like he does that more than once on this album.
The false ending?
Yeah.
I don't remember specifically, but I think this is the only place I noted it if he does.
We'll get to it. The third track, North American Scum.
North American Scum, the first single.
I don't like this.
You don't? Interesting.
No, I don't like it because of the chorus.
I think the female backing vocals chanting North America really adds something to it. But otherwise, the song didn't really do it for me like the last two did. But I don't think it's bad by any means.
It's not bad, but I personally just don't like it. Comes down to subjectivity, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting even using the term North American, given how like wide of a range that covers and how like wildly different it seems that people from the US, Mexico, Canada, and other territories are perceived. So, I don't know. It's just interesting turn of phrase.
Boils down to preference.
So does all music?
I meant the term.
North American?
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever heard something referred to as North American before, though.
I haven't either, but then, you know what? The song exists, so now I have to think about it.
That's true.
So I say it boils down to preference for everybody who isn't in America.
Isn't in North America.
Yeah, you're right. North America.
I bet all these South Americans are like, oh, these North Americans. No, that's not what they sound like. These North Americans.
Track 4, Someone Great.
Someone Great. The third single. And apparently one of their most popular songs.
This is one of my favorite songs, along with All My Friends, which is the next one. I feel like this song is timeless.
Yeah. I read on Wikipedia it apparently takes its instrumental from one part of the band's 6-part, 46-minute-long 2006 composition, 4533.
I thought it was written as like a demo at first, and then repurposed for the album. Because I had heard that
4533?
Yes, I have heard
You thought that was a demo?
No. So there was no. It was like a much more stripped down. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's been a while since I listened to it. I just remember that there were no vocals in the version that was in that one. But that had was also recorded about I don't know, couple months to a year before the album actually came out. This one.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking. It probably was like a demo and it wasn't finished or something. And I don't know. Maybe James didn't think he would finish it, so then he put it on there. I don't know. I might be wrong.
I think the bells on this track, once the vocals start, give it a bit of a Christmassy feel, but an electronic Christmassy feel.
Well, I have good news for you. They've done a Christmas song.
I know. I know
They've done 2 of them.
That's why I listened to This Is Happening in December, because it had like one Christmas-themed song on it.
I don't know. I wasn't too big on that one. I liked the other one a little bit more.
The other one is better, I think. The rest of the instrumental on this song is also really good. I don't know what specifically to say about a lot of them musically, since it tends to just be good techno music, but this one goes on a bit long for my liking, given that it doesn't get particularly more instrumentally complex than how it starts. It has an interesting ending, though.
I feel like it works, considering what the song says.
What does the song say?
The song's about James Murphy getting over his late therapist.
Really? Interesting.
Yes, and talking about how he can't find another therapist because, you spend so much time with one, it'd be too difficult to start again. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's what the song's about.
I don't have much therapy experience, but I can imagine that that's probably how that feels.
This album's dedicated to him.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard something about that.
The 5th track, All My Friends. This is my favorite Madian single.
What?
Madian released Good Faith in 2020, and I really enjoyed it. But I also remembered we're talking about LCD Soundsystem. So let me say this about that.
I'm so confused.
Don't worry, it doesn't need to make... It won't make sense to you, but it will in post. If it doesn't make sense
to me, it won't to the audience.
It will, because Madian made a song called All My Friends, and that's what I was noting. I'm explaining the joke now.
We can't expect everybody who listens to this episode to know that.
Exactly, so people watching the video would understand what I'm talking about, but the people on Spotify would go, oh, what the fuck?
Which is something we need to not do.
I will break all the boundaries and throw it in the dumpster.
For the video version.
The video version can make as much sense as I want it to. Spotify,
you don't
we gotta be a little bit more commendable there. We don't need to have what?
It's funny you bring that up. I should mention this because it wasn't accurate when we recorded the last one. We're on Spotify now.
What?
We're on Spotify now.
I didn't even remember.
If you're listening to this on Spotify, hello. You're my favorite.
I hate you.
And Andrew hates you.
Please keep listening.
Anyways, All My Friends, the second single, and apparently their most popular song as far as I'm aware.
The song is relentless.
Yeah?
Yeah. Also one of my favorite songs. And I feel like the way that the song is arranged and built is pretty genius. It never stops to feel boring.
I found myself picturing the person playing piano, and it made me enjoy the song more. There's also a slow build up, like the opening track, but not like as electronic. It almost gives like a Ben Folds vibe.
Folds. I've not heard enough of Ben Folds.
I've been listening to a bit more of his stuff recently, and I'm kind of into it. And I also think the song somehow feels shorter than its 7 minute length, despite its repetitive nature.
Yeah, I think that's the magic of LCD Soundsystem is that they can make music as long as they want it to, and it still feels shorter than the actual runtime. And I don't understand how that works.
Yeah, and I'm sure all the single versions are shorter than the actual album versions.
No, they're not.
No, what do you mean no?
No, they're the
How
they're the album versions.
how do they get away with that?
I don't. Let me make sure I know what I'm saying really
Yeah,
quickly.
because that's kind of weird. Because I know that again, the remix they did for that day one David Bowie song I mentioned earlier, that full remix is like 7 to 10 minutes long. I don't remember specifically. There's a single version that's like 4 minutes. It's
Oh
also, while
wait.
he's looking this up, it's interesting that all four of the singles are in a row on the album.
Okay. All My Friends has a bit of an edit from the album version, which is 7 minutes and 42 seconds. It's down to 6 minutes.
Why?
And then
I
Someone
don't get
Great
it.
on the album is 6:30, and the single is 6:30.
There was a point like 2 or 3 years ago, not to keep bringing up David Bowie because I just love doing that apparently. When the David Bowie YouTube channel was just uploading a whole bunch of like videos, and I would put like these like fun facts in the comments about them, just about the song or like stuff related to them. And one of them, what song was it? I can't. I think it was Wild as the Wind from his Station to Station album. And I talked about how like a lot of Bowie singles are like shortened from their like original album version. And I just like looked up some of them and some of them are just ridiculous. And then some of them make no sense. Like they were like barely shortened at all. Like
I don't
this
know.
one,
It's like a
shortened
pick
by
and
like a
choose.
minute.
This song doesn't feel boring. It doesn't feel boring at any point in time, and it's pretty good. The sixth track, Us v Them.
Us v them. The time has come.
Over and over again.
The time has come.
Us v Them. Over and over again. Us v Them. Over and over. Okay, I'm done.
I
I'm
was
done with
wondering
this
how
bit.
long you were going to do that.
What if I
I was
just
going
did
to let
that
you
for
keep
like the rest
going
of
for
the
as
hour?
long as you wanted.
The extended cut.
Yeah. I think there's a bit too much going on here. And individually, all the parts are really good and really like funky, but I'm not sure that they mix very well.
What do you mean the time has come? The time has come. The time has come today.
But I do like the change up bridge about 3 minutes in until about 6 minutes in. It's like there's three different songs here that are all using the same instrumental. And the middle one is really good.
The time has come. I was picking fun at the fact that you did not like. Okay, you didn't like Phoenix when they did it,
What
and
do
I
you
hear
mean?
that
When they
you
did
also don't
what?
like it when they did it here either.
When who did what?
When Phoenix was like shouting the same shit over and over again.
I think it works better with this genre of music. And there's one song later on this album that I think does it really well. But yeah, I think with electronic music it works a lot better than alt rock or
Got it.
indie
If I'm
pop.
thinking about the same song that you're thinking of, I'm going to. Okay,
He's going to.
I am going to. The seventh track. Watch the tapes.
This is strangely the most normal song on this album.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know, it just feels normal, you know? Like in terms of like structure and length and format, I guess, if that means anything. And
It
maybe
is the
that's why
shortest
I think
song.
it's pretty uninteresting. I don't think it does anything special that the other tracks don't do, but it does make me want to read all the pamphlets and watch the tapes.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also say this. The chorus was weak, but I did like a lot of the song though. Track 8, Sound of Silver.
Sound of Silver. It's just one verse repeated 5 times, then a very ambient instrumental interlude that becomes very computery, and then once that goes on for a bit, they do the verse again a couple times before more instrumental. This goes on for 7 minutes.
I saw a comment about this song being an utter bop. The knee-jerk reaction is how I felt about the song. It's not bad, but it goes nowhere compared to a lot of the other songs in the album. And I like Watch the Tapes more than this song.
Interesting. I think it's enjoyable to listen to, and I like that it keeps it simple and doesn't try to be too lyrically complicated so it can focus fully on the music and nothing else. I think their songs need to be more like that. And yes, this is the song I was referring to earlier.
I disagree with that. No, it does not do it well. I did not like it.
I like it. I don't like
I
it
don't.
as much as some other songs earlier on, but I like it.
Better
It's
watch those
simple, it's
tapes.
repetitive, it focuses almost entirely on the music, and that's without being fully
Focuses on what they're
instrumental.
good at. I don't know. I didn't even find the instrumental compelling, but that's just me. The last track, New York, I Love You, but you're bringing me down.
This song is too normal.
I updated Spotify about 2 songs ago, and I had realized that they changed the green heart into a grayish heart.
Yes. Oh my god. I mean,
Why?
this is a weird time to talk about that, but yeah, I don't like it.
Why did they make this change?
I don't know. I mean,
Who,
it's still like
who
a
said that
green
this was a good
heart.
idea?
It's still a green heart like next to the song on the web player, like across from the song next to
I'll
like
go
how long it
figure. The
is.
fucking web
But
player
on the
doesn't get
bottom
updated.
left, it's gray, and I don't like that.
Go fucking figure. Go fucking figure.
It's so
Hey
weird.
Spotify, what the fuck?
Spotify, we're taking our podcast off your service because you changed the heart color from green to gray.
We're on Apple Music now. Hello
We're only
Apple,
on
our
Apple
new
Music,
overlords.
but we are on Apple Music. We're also on
We
Google
are also on
Podcasts.
Apple
We're on
Music.
Pocket Casts. We're on a couple other things that I can't care to remember.
Please rate our podcast in IMDb. That's right, we are a show, not a podcast. Please.
We are a show because we have a video version.
Yes. So please rate us on IMDb. Give us a 4-star, 5-star rating.
No, yeah,
Maybe
give
even
us
a
a
2-star if you hate
give
it
us
enough.
a 4-star rating, please. 4 out of 5.
A 4 out of 10. And
Yeah, give us a 4 out of 10
give
rating.
us a 4 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 if you really hate it. Thank you. This is the best 2 out of 10 show that has ever existed. Thank you. Anyway, now to get back about the song, or get back to the song, I mean.
Yeah, New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down. It's too normal.
It took a while for it to grow on me. And at first, I didn't understand the appeal of it, because a lot of fucking people like this song.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I listened to the Goodbye Tour, that album, or movie, or whatever, depending on how you look at it, before the song started to click with me. So I had to listen to the live version before this song started making sense.
That maybe I need to do that. But I mean, because I do like how it like picks up at the end instrumentally, but it doesn't feel like an LCD Soundsystem song, you know?
Oh,
It's
well,
it's not electronic enough.
This is like a weird callback to their first album, but
Oh
you
God,
haven't
was their
listened
first
to it.
album not electronic?
No, they had this weird one-off song where it didn't even sound like the rest of the album, and it was kind of like this.
Well, that's definitely this.
I mean, it works within the album, like within the context of the album, but me explaining, oh yeah, it sounds very out of place the way I explain it,
Yeah.
and that's because it is sort of, but it works.
I mean, this song has a good piano outro, and it works as an album closer, just not very well for this album, I think. Also, it
I
stops
feel like it
really
works.
abruptly, which I feels like was unnecessary.
I feel like it works. I like it instrumentally to an extent, but I think the live version will always be better because
Probably.
that you will actually get that.
You know what,
ending.
Andrew? You know what? I'm gonna listen to the live album.
Good luck. It's like 3 hours long.
What the fuck? I'm not listening to the live album.
Yeah, it's about 188 minutes.
I could do it. I've heard 2-hour live albums before. What's another hour?
Right. So let me ask this question.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the album?
I liked it. Not as much as their next album, This Is Happening, but those first 2 songs on this one really did it for me. The rest of it, it's good electronic music to zone out and vibe to, minus the last song, but I don't think any of it is something I would go out of my way to listen to again, personally. But I liked it for the most part. It's good to, like, turn off your brain to, if you need something to, like, fall asleep to or just have it on as background noise. It's great. It's a good time.
Okay, to me, this album doesn't feel as long as it actually is. Feels a lot shorter than the 55-minute runtime by a certain extent. And I forgot how much I actually enjoyed the songs I had liked on this album. It had been about a year since I had last listened to the album as a whole. But it did reinforce that the songs I didn't like, I did not like. I think the only album I'm able to listen to, like a more majority of the entire album, is like LCD Soundsystem's American Dream, which we will get to at some point. No idea when, but yeah.
Give it like 47 years and we'll do it.
Ha, give it 47 weeks.
That sounds about right. I feel like if
Dear
we're ever
God, what
gonna
have I
do,
said?
if we're ever gonna do, oh, we could actually count it out maybe. If we're ever gonna do an artist more than once on the podcast, I feel like it would be warranted to wait like a year before covering them again.
I think 10 weeks, every 10 weeks, that option becomes available.
That's okay. That works. I'm
That's
not
better.
opposed to that. So,
But 47 weeks, we'll have
tune
an
in for
episode
episode
on
11 and we'll do another
the
Billy
American
Joel
Dream.
album.
We gotta do it for continuity's sake. Sorry. Song recommendations. Let's yell out some songs to the
Okay.
viewers.
I can go first this time since I never go first. So, yeah, I went to that karaoke party in Ohio. So, I have a couple options from either songs that other people did or songs that I did there. And part of me wants to recommend a song I did pretty late in the night when I was very intoxicated. I want to recommend WAP by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, but I won't. I will not officially do that because I feel like I kind like part of me wants to like make a playlist of like songs we talk about in the podcast where I'll have like
Hmm.
the singles or popular songs from the album and then like whatever songs we recommend and maybe I'll put like the episodes within the playlist or whatever. And I don't want to have
Hmm.
to put WAP in that playlist. So I'm not doing that. Instead I'm going to recommend Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses, which I'm not a big Guns N' Roses fan. I don't really like Axl Rose's voice, but also pretty late into the night someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, we really want you to do Welcome to the Jungle." So I went up there and I did it exactly how Axl Rose sings it, full on raspy voice, high pitched, and I frickin' nailed it. Or so I'm told. So that's my recommendation. Welcome to the Jungle, Guns N' Roses.
It
I
really
hope
does
that
get
gave
worse here
you
every day.
time to find the song you didn't prepare.
I have bad news for you.
You didn't.
No, it didn't. But I'll just recommend this song from Bad Bad Not Good, their newest song that they released recently. Signal from the Noise, off of their new album, I believe.
Can I be honest with you?
What?
You mentioned Bad Bad Not Good a couple episodes ago, and that's just such a stupid name.
Hey, I don't get to choose the stupid
I
names,
don't like
okay?
that band name.
I don't choose other people's names. I just say it how it is.
Okay.
It's not something I can do about. Anyway, tune in next week, where I shove a fork up my eye and we call it an episode.
I'm
We're not.
these
It's
these
getting
outros
censored.
are getting wilder and wilder every day.
We talked about a ritual circle like a couple episodes ago. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Several episodes ago. Tune in next week where
Tune in next week where we actually film the next Saw movie
okay,
live on set.
I'm down. Call up Spielberg.
Spielberg.
Did he not do Saw? I don't know. I don't know who
No.
did Saw. I have no idea
Spielberg
who
did
did Saw.
Saw. If Spielberg did Saw, it'd be like Peter Pan. The
That'd be a
kid would
movie.
find a way to escape, and or you know what? A Stanley Kubrick directed Saw.
Yeah.
That would be adults only, probably.
Tune in next week. We're doing a Stanley Kubrick directed Saw.